Art thou ready now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, lordy. Full spectrum cycling, folks. This is show number 319, if I guess.
319?
Might be the area code of Iowa City or something. I recognize the numbers.
Du police? Oh, no, I'm looking at...
Or is it... No, it might...
It's in Iowa.
Yeah. I remember a lot of the bike shops when I used to go down
Cedar
that way.
Rapids, Iowa City.
Yep. They were all
Fort Madison,
319s.
Burlington, Waterloo.
If you went south of I-80,
I-80?
you weren't on my route.
Yeah, I-80.
Well, it's been a cool week here in Milwaukee.
Brisk.
This is nice.
Not really even brisk.
It's perfect.
Relatively
perfect.
To what we were dealing with, but...
Excuse me. Why are you... Oh, good. It did. I thought it was going to...
No. I only jostled it a little bit.
Not happening. That's good. So what's going on this week here, folks? We should probably talk about the... Let's just start out with your shirts.
Oh, yes.
The New Rock 1021. Was that your intro into the radio business?
Yes, indeed. Yep. As a promotions intern, and then production intern, then morning show producer, board op with good Julio, then morning show producer, and then that was kind of
on-air radio personality.
Something like that. And then just, hourly lackey whenever they would end up firing people. And then I was inevitably one of those. I got fired. And now the universe has righted itself and now has decided to fire that radio station by having a Christian radio network system absorb them. And I'm sure they're not going to stick with...
No. I mean, I've already seen that Christian rock is on the agenda for them.
So, yeah.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Well, I'm sure it's more profitable. I mean, Arbitron ratings never were the strong suit. They just were able to sell advertising well and go out and do remotes and have a good time in the community. Yeah. At least for my time there. And I never really noticed after the fact. They didn't seem to be...
I didn't see them out as much as in the earlier days of the
90s and whatever.
Yeah.
And they had, and on the undershirt, well, these were two of the new brandings.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Because it was Hot 1021, which was like R&B for a while. And then they went to New Rock, Milwaukee, alternative and whatever. And another one of the branding was Rock 1021 because they wanted to get into some album rock and whatever.
Because only 0.8 on the because 0.8 on the dial away was 1029.
Yeah, one sneeze with your hand on the dial, man. But Randy Hawk did have one clever thing, and it was this shirt. And if you look on the back,
nice. Oh yeah, that is pretty good. I remember that.
The black concert T-shirt.
It's been a while. I don't know that I ever had one, but any black concert T-shirt from that long ago is long turned to gray and got moth-eaten holes and stuff in it.
Randy Hawk. For the mean streets of New York. Albany. You're from Albany, man. Come on, give me a break. It's like punching holes in the boat.
Well, so goodbye, Rock 1021 or New Rock.
Yes, yes, everybody else, welcome to... There's room in my boat. I said goodbye to them about 20-ish years ago.
Come on, join JK in the boat.
I've been waiting for 2 decades for y'all to join me over here.
Right on.
But no, one less grudge on my plate. So
yeah,
there it is.
Well, if we blast through a little Milwaukee stuff, we're going to give Dave Slabowski a call in a little bit.
What?
I only learned of this today, even though apparently the posters have been up in Uptowner for the last 2 months, according to Steven, is that Tour de Towner, as is always the case, Sunday before Labor Day, Sunday before Memorial Day too, but we already did that one.
Well, it's just a trumpeting of like how quick this freaking summer, or how every summer goes.
Yeah, and that's...
Because it's like, oh shit, yeah, the Sunday before Memorial Day. Okay, we're getting into summer now, and then It's the Labor Day,
and that's just the thing is I wasn't ready for Labor Day yet.
I know. I want 2 more months.
And though you can't see and or hear right now, we're actually doing this Tuesday because Wednesday, our normal day, I'm moving my son Garrett back into the dorms at the UWM.
Which tower?
I don't think he's in the same. I think he's in South now. I don't know. Whatever.
I was South. Yeah.
And
Power to the South.
Last year he was on the 14th floor, which had a wicked nice view. I think this year he's on the 8th floor. I don't know that really matters.
I think I was 8th floor. But I had one of those like narrow, tiny windows that just faced north,
like almost like a prison window.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like a slit, like from a like I was in a castle shooting arrows at the, at the intruders and what have you. But yeah, and all you would see is a little bit of sky, but essentially you saw West Tower and North Tower.
Oh, gotcha.
So
yeah,
there was not
depending on what side of the building you're on.
For a view by any.
I think doesn't that tower have a on the top decky thing or some sort of area where you can congregate?
I don't think so. I think that would be
terribly
foolhardy, but
you would throw yourself off after your exams.
Jesus, yeah, I'm telling you.
Maybe. That's probably why you had the slit in the room so you couldn't jump out the window.
Yeah, I mean it was like it's like poured concrete buildings and
right. Yeah, it reminds me a little Tel Aviv kind of.
Oh yeah. There's very Eastern Bloc kind of feel to it.
Yeah. Well, he's got a roommate that he was with last year too. They weren't in the same room, but now they will be co-roommating.
They were suite mates.
They were suite mates before, and now they're going to actually be roomies.
Right
apparently.
on. I had 2 interesting roomies. First one was Sunji Lee from Korea. My introduction to proper ramen. And so instead of it was like, oh hey Marachan, no, you get that. Now you can kind of get it everywhere. The Nongshim Shin ramen that's not good and spicy.
Yep.
And so it was introduction to that.
Sweet.
That boy could drink. Oh man, that guy put a case of beer down by himself in the room and then left to go to one of his parties, his countrymen. They were hanging out and getting it, and he came stumbling back at like about 4 a.m. Hey, Mike, sorry. It was freaking great.
Right on.
And then the second semester was ex-Latin Kings member, which
all right.
provided for some interesting.
Once you're a friend with those guys, you're friends for life.
Yeah. I wasn't. I kept a good. Hi.
Oh, right on.
It was an interesting thing. Nostalgia all over this program.
Triple T is guess where Triple T is?
Getting his car repaired.
He's in the Dells.
Oh shit! Are you kidding me?
No.
Good Lord! Oh,
JK's going to the Dells
like
later in the week.
Everyone's going to the Dells or just came from the Dells or.
So I was texting with him today because Steven was in today, so we did some work on the shop and got the Bass Boat electric bike all finished up.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, is that thing fun.
Really?
It goes 28.7 miles an hour.
Okay.
But you don't have to go that fast if you don't want to. But it looks good. I got a picture. I see it in the show notes. It might even be the main picture because I didn't do a lot of cycle pictures this week, I don't think. But, check that out. You know what I think I should do? I think I'm going to maybe talk about your radio days or something. I'm going to call our guest because I'm doing it a little differently than we normally do.
There you go. Well, I'm going to recap a little bit of the weekend when I did end up at the Ren Fair.
Ah, yes, and the Bristol 45 Diner I saw because you had the unicorn.
I got the unicorn pancake again. And it was great because I kind of flummoxed the waitress. So the table of 8, or I think it was 8 of us. And, somebody orders that, it's like, okay, they're kind of pre-programmed to come out. That comes to the child. And then they came out to the table like, okay, who is the child that ordered this? I didn't get the garlic bread this time. I got a Bloody Mary instead.
I did see the Bloody Mary. Okay, so we have that picture too, folks. You can check that out. Let's see if this actually works the way I think it's supposed to. Oh yeah, it's ringing.
It's ringing.
See how Johnny on the spot Dave is.
Phone. Be good. Be
Hello.
good.
How are you now?
I'm okay.
Good. I was a little, since we haven't used this method of connecting before, I'm like, how the hell does this work again? But I got to say, I think it's better than going the 3,000 miles out to LA or however far it is and back to us again kind of thing.
Oh, for the call to go like that?
Yeah.
Although,
well, you sound much more throaty than normal. You've got that radio voice coming over now.
Yeah, everybody, very wide.
And I think, anyway, we were working on some I was working on some technology, how to make this thing work. So now we've got Mr. Dave Schlabowski, Seeley Dave on the horn. Seeley Dave, what's up with you?
well, I just thought I would check in post Leadville 100 mountain bike race, which I did not race, but I attended as a crew support person for a couple of the guys on my old team, the old Trocadero team. And I started way back when.
Haven't heard that.
Way back when Trocadero was actually open.
Yeah. I was like, wow, this is an all nostalgia show.
Yeah. We were just talking about JK's, the 1021 radio station down here in Milwaukee being sold to a Christian broadcasting group.
Oh.
So how was Leadville? I haven't been out that way for, I bet 15 years. That's some high altitude stuff out there.
Yeah. So I didn't race, but I rode out there quite a bit. And my one friend, I had two friends that did it. And the one friend, he got in via the lottery. And so then once he got in, it's very hard to get into that race. Once he got in, he took it very seriously. He's 45 now, used to be like a Cat 1, racer.
Okay.
And, expert sort of mountain bike racer and stuff. But family and work, and he owns his own business. He is a home builder now and stuff like that. So all that stuff, sort of sidelined his racing. He's always been a fit person. He still plays basketball and lifts weights and stuff like that. But he hasn't really raced much. They do Schwami. They come up here and visit to race the Schwami Mountain Bike Festival and the Berkey. And those are kind of like had been like his only kind of races each year.
Right on.
But so he hired a coach, Matthew Boucher, who is from Wauwatosa, 2-time U.S. national champion, was on the Radio Shack team, blah, blah, blah. He's now a Carmichael coach. So he hired Matthew. His brother is on our team, his older brother, Aaron Boucher. And I think his dad was on our team for a while too. So he hired that guy as a coach. He went out and bought a brand new bike from Ben Cycle, a fancy Specialized Epic with all the flight attendant electronic nonsense and stuff on it. So he was taking it super seriously. And trained very hard for like 8 months. And
wow.
So because he was taking it so seriously, he wanted to acclimatize to that altitude. I mean, there's sort of two ways to do it. You can go out there early and, acclimatize, and there's various schedules for doing so.
Right.
Or you can sort of pop in day or two before the race and cross your fingers and hope that the altitude doesn't hit you and hurt you too bad.
So he
chose the first option.
Right on.
A lot of people do just, kind of run in the day before, and a lot of people, it doesn't hurt them too much. The altitude seems to have a negative effect, its most negative effect, a few days in, 3-4 days in. So
I was going to say, I remember going out there to Leadville or some other little town. It wasn't Breckenridge. I don't remember where it was, but my buddy had already lived out there, and he worked at Vail Mountain, and he was living at 8,000 or 9,000 feet already anyway. And I just remember having a couple Grolsch beers and being like, "Oh my God, am I trashed on just 2 beers?" Anyway, so he chose.
We worked our way up, and I did do a bunch of riding out there, and so we started at like 8,000 feet, I think, by like Estes Park, and then we went to Fraser, which is just outside of Winter Park, and we went up, a couple thousand feet, and then we went to Leadville. So,
and Leadville's that's about 10,000 there.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little over 10. It's 10,1 something. And then we also did, so he pre-rode the course, got to pre-ride the course for a week, and, try to check his time climbing up, the big climbs and going down as fast as he could. And for those that don't know, Leadville is capped at 2,000 riders still. Lifetime owns it. It's part of the Lifetime Grand Prix series now. And you can advance your start gate by doing well at a handful of other, I think 3 other Lifetime race qualifiers, one of which is the Lutsen 99er, which my buddy Casey also did. And I went up there with him. I worked the event, but he and I went up together with another pal up here, Matt Hewitt. I don't know if you remember Matt from Ben Cycle and from the Courier days and Bike Polo. He lives up here now. He and Elizabeth Franchek.
Right. Yeah, I did see
they're
them.
Pretty avid racers.
When I was up there for the Fat Bike Berkey, I saw Liz walking down the road. And I think we ran into him somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever. But yeah, so
he and Matt raced Lutsen, and they both did pretty well. So that got Casey up to the 3rd start gate. So it's pros, elites, and then there's the next start. It's like pros, and then silver and gold or something, or red and so I don't know, but he was in like the 3rd start gate. So he got a very early start. He didn't have to fight his way through all those, 2,000 racers.
Sure.
Which was advantageous.
Absolutely.
And then his goal was to, and he had worked with his coach to do a sub-9 event. You get a large belt buckle for finishing in under 9 hours, and you get a smaller belt buckle for finishing under 12 hours. And that's their cutoff. You don't get a buckle after that.
No buckle for you. They're not getting branded though. Like what? They're not getting actually branded, are they?
No,
I forget which event is that where the winners get branded.
That was the Fat Bike World Championships.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I should know.
And I think they only did that twice in all their times they did it. But yeah, so I was I was with one other pal doing support at one aid station, and then we had our Matthew's brother Aaron doing support at the other aid station. Because it's an out and back race. You go through each aid station twice.
Right.
There are 2 other optional aid stations. We didn't staff any of those. We thought it was enough to just do these. And so you ride out, and there's a couple of pretty big, brutal climbs. Powerline is one, and Columbine is the other one. And then you race back down while other people are riding up these narrow gravel, really rocky roads that are, 25% grade and.
Whoosh.
And Columbine is over 12,000 feet. And the power line isn't, but it's still pretty high and very steep. So a lot of people end up walking their bikes on the tops of each of them.
Sure.
Just because of altitude and steepness and how rocky they are. When I was out there, I rode up Mosquito Pass, which is 12.3, I think it was. And I hit 42% grade.
Holy mackerel.
Going up.
Wow.
So, and it's really rocky.
Is that measured on your GPS device?
Yeah, it is. And it was consistently over 20% grade. And with steeper spots of, like I said, 42% 2%.
Well, I've been watching the Vuelta, and those guys they're like, oh my God, this thing is getting up into the 9 and 10% area.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, dude. Yes, let me tell you. Yeah, I thought when I first hit 26% grade at like 11,000 feet, I was like, oh my God, like this can't get any harder, can it?
Were you still able to ride it, or were you pushing?
No, I was pushing at that point. Yeah.
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 Can't imagine that.
Lack of oxygen, over 11,000 feet, plus the steep grade, plus it was really rocky, and these are sharp, pointy rocks, not like the rocks here. And since I've had a couple of, I broke 3 vertebrae a couple years ago, and I separated shoulder. Like, I walk rock gardens on the Canva trails.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just too old. It takes so long to recover and heal.
Right. Well, I'm still fighting a shoulder thing from a year ago. It's like, come on, man. Are you ever going to get feeling better? Yeah.
I know.
I'm not getting surgery on this one, but man, it's yeah.
I know.
I don't want to fall down anymore.
But yeah. So anyway, Casey, like I said, he pre-rode the course, so he knew it really well. He pre-rode it a number of times. He was always checking his times against other people, both climbing and descending on the power line and on Columbine. And he was often in the top 10 for a lot of that, so he felt good about it.
Wow.
And then he ended up finishing in. Oh, he crashed hard going down Columbine. Broke a saddle.
Oh,
broke both rails on his saddle.
Wow.
But it was still kind of hanging on there. So he had to ride like 30 miles with a broken saddle after a really hard crash. And he still, like, I was just getting text messages from him of all his road rash and some weird bump that he refuses to go get an x-ray on.
I don't want to know what that is. No. They'll tell me something's wrong. I'm not going to see that guy.
Right. He's like, I got to keep an eye on it. I'm like, you've been keeping an eye on it for quite a while now. I think it's time for an x-ray, dude. Anyway, so he finished in 8 hours and 19 minutes, even with that crash. And we did, and having to ride on a broken saddle for 30 miles until we
crazy.
We sourced him a new saddle at the aid station, but he had to ride a long time on a broken saddle where it was crooked, and he couldn't put all his weight on it, because he was afraid the last of it was going to
and then you got a seat post up your butt.
Right. Yes. Right.
Wow.
Right. So he finished in 8:19. And so he didn't know this until after the race, but his coach, Matthew Boucher, sent him his Training Peaks prediction for Casey's finish. And it was 8:20.
Wow. And so he would have gone faster.
He finished with a minute. Yeah. He might've broke 8, which was really fast. He was 105th out of 2,000 people, but only 1,300 finished the race.
Right on.
Out of the 2,000, only about 2,000 finished. So he was like 105th. So he would have been, top 100 and maybe broke 8 hours, which is pretty darn fast. The winners, Keegan Swenson finished in 5:45, and the women this year broke I think 11-year record of sub 7 hour record that the 2 women, Kate Courtney, a UCI World Cup pro who broke her hand and couldn't race the World Cup circuit and is recovering, and there's a gap in their race. So she did Leadville as like a one-off and she ended up, apparently she's very good at it.
I got time to do this. Speaking of all these hills, Powerline and Columbine and Schmaggity Flying and
Mosquito Coast.
Yeah, Mosquito Coastery. We're at the top of one of these hills now. JK brought today's beer here at the old studio. I haven't had this one. This is new. It says right on the box, new.
Yep. It's the Bell's Oberon Eclipse. It's a raspberry wheat.
It's a raspberry wheat. It's better than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't like flavored beer.
I know. That's why I didn't really celebrate it too much.
No, it's good. It's actually good.
I was like, yeah.
It says if you can't see the sunshine, make your own. We've used raspberry.
It's, yeah. I mean, if you like Oberon taste of summer.
Yeah, that's all. The whole Michigan trip was all Oberon fueled for sure.
Yeah. So it's in the same vein. It just has like a bit of a raspberry.
Yeah, it's not super offensive, fruitnessy wise.
Exactly, and it's pretty drinkable. 5.8 gets you a little up there, a little bit a little bit quicker than a dad beer, but it all works out nicely.
Yeah. Dave, was New Belgium out there all over the place, or do they not partake of the cycling events?
Leadville is an interesting town. It is very old. It's mining stuff everywhere. Literally, there's all kinds of great riding there. I highly encourage folks to go out there and ride. There's tons of great riding out there. They even have a really great paved trail called the what's it called? The Mineral Belt Trail, I think. And it's got all these little kiosks with historic information about all kinds of mining stuff that you can see along the route. And I wrote it a couple of times and stopped at every one of those little kiosks and read them all because they're all pretty interesting.
Right on.
And it was very cool. And so you're going by all these old 1800s era mines that they just, when they played out, they just left them and they're all still there. They're usually filled in, but all these remnants are there and everything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Plus you're up in the mountains, very high. The town is got a nice main street that looks traditional Colorado Western mountain townish,
Yep.
And then, all these houses are all these weird little wooden mining houses, 600 to 900 square feet mining houses with all kinds of decorative wood trim on them that's painted interesting colors, but they all look kind of shitty.
Yeah.
But they're worth they're all worth a million bucks or something.
Yeah, no kidding.
And they've got nice paint on them, but somebody really, I don't know why people don't just, hey, you know what? You should just quit putting paint over that and actually fix it.
Isn't there?
But it's a cool town. Floyd's is out there. Floyd's of Leadville.
Oh yeah. One of the dopers from the old days, Floyd Landis.
Yep. Yeah, Floyd. Yeah,
Is there a restaurant in Leadville that has a train that goes around the top of the it's like almost up by the ceiling. It's like a garden gauge train. There is an old. Okay, Leadville does have an old narrow gauge train. Maybe it's not narrow gauge. It has an old historic train that you can ride out of Leadville. And there is a really old saloon, and I didn't end up going to that saloon. So maybe that one has that. Yeah, it was like a restaurant. My Colorado map might be off a little bit. I remember. I think there's a road between Leadville and Telluride or something, and there's a place called State Bridge out there in the middle of nowhere that's just a big party bar / thing right on a river. I love Colorado. I just haven't been out there often enough recently. It's just it's one of the states that I would say everybody has to go check out at least a few times.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's great. We had a great time. A lot of good riding, a lot of good altitude. I came back and for the first couple of days, every ride I went on, I was like, oh my God, this must be what EPO feels like. Because I was just processed. I was like, I can just go I was 2 or 3 cogs smaller
right
on every climb. I never got tired. It was amazing. Because I was still processing oxygen, after 2.5 weeks out there.
Sure.
Above, 9,000 feet. I was still.
Yeah. Well,
it was pretty awesome.
That's why all those fancy racers do that high altitude training, unless they have a hyperbaric chamber in their house.
Right.
My old roommate had the training mask because he wanted to climb Mount Rainier or some shit like that, and he. it was a training mask, and you would just wear it, and it looked like a gas mask, and you just change the valves
for how much oxygen you're getting.
Exactly,
to get less oxygen.
And and all they would say is, "Do not
kill yourself.
Do not fall asleep with this on." Guess what the dumb bastard did was, fall asleep on a couple occasions. So he gave self-induced vertigo.
Oh boy!
And he got altitude sickness, and whatever, and it was the crazy. And I'm just like, oh my god, I still have
not quite at sea level, but you're not far away from it.
I actually have the mask because he wanted to get rid of it, and he was throwing it away, and I was just like, you know what, that's just creepy enough just to hold on to, because it does. I mean, it looks like a combination gas mask and sex. BDSM, whip me kind of kind of wardrobe and
a little creeper zone.
Action. Just crazy shit that you never know what you'll find in the closets.
Hey Dave, before we sign off, and by the way, I gotta say this way of doing the show, if you listen to the show, you'll hear so much better than I love call-in studio. There's a lot of good things about it, but the audio quality is so much better.
Good.
Before you go, though, I know that the Chequamegon Fat Tire Festival and 40-mile race is coming up here in a couple of weeks. Well, is there still a chance to get in, or is it pretty full?
Oh, yeah, I think you can. No, I think you can get in it. It's pretty full, but I think you can still register for that. What? The Pirates are back this year.
I was dressed like a pirate for Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, Dave had the Yaris out in Rosie's Field one year when he was just heckling people and announcing on the way through Rosie's Field with a pirate flag and a Yaris. What are you doing for that weekend? Are you covering the event or just hanging out?
I work it. Yeah, okay. I work the event. I will do a bunch of photography and drone stuff, and then I don't do the official race stuff. There's Marathon Photo does the racer photos. Sure. And then there's a couple of guys that live up here, Kelly Randolph and another guy that have been doing the official race, ride on the back of the moto and stuff like that since Gary was running it, so they still do that stuff. And then Lifetime, if you haven't watched the Lifetime channel on YouTube, they had helicopters, they had e-bikes, they had motorcycles. They had really good coverage of that. It's about 20 minutes to watch the race. Really good coverage of that Leadville 100.
Oh, okay.
They also do similar, no helicopters for a 40-mile race, but they do similar good coverage for the Chequamegon Mountain Bike Festival. So check out the YouTube Lifetime Grand Prix YouTube channel, and the race coverage is really good.
So that's already. I mean, that's up already, right? I assume they did it. They did it live, right? Probably.
It's live. Yeah, it's live, and then they keep it up so you can rewatch it.
Send me that photo. All right. Well, if you have any shots you want to send along, we'll throw a couple in the show notes. Maybe people can get a feel for how you're above the tree line at some of those real high spots there, and it's
I didn't, because I was working the event. I brought all my camera gear, but I didn't really get to use, stuff. I was crewing at a aid station. So
copy that.
But I have some pictures from my rides and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'll text you a couple of those that you can put up. When I saw my GPS head unit say 42%, I no one will believe this.
Right.
So I stopped and I took a photo of it.
Yeah, you're walking. That's not quite the face of a cliff, but I can't imagine. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anything that steep on a bike. So.
Yeah, it was insane.
Yeah.
So, all right. I'll text you a couple of those. Okay.
All right, Dave. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Yep. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Later.
Dave Slabowski, everybody. Boop, boop, boop. Bye, Dave. He was at Leadville 100. That is I was curious. I wish I knew what, because Lance Armstrong did a couple of the very early Leadvilles.
Lance.
I remember one year, it might have been the first year he did it. He had a flat. It was right when tubeless tires came out, and he burped the tire or something happened and he couldn't get it reseated. And he rode something like the last 15 miles of the race with a flat tire and still won the race.
Right.
And this is after the whatever. I'm just saying, Lance is the shit, man. I don't give a fuck what any of you people think. Lance is cool. Lone Stone. Yeah, he just got the one there thing.
Yeah, you got to do the flip off. That's how you give the flip off. The Lone Stone flip off.
Really, there's not that much more on here. A couple quick things. Island cat. This sounded interesting. Stephen was telling me about this today while we were working in the shop. This is it's a alley cat, but it's on Madeline Island, up there by Bayfield, way up there in Lake Superior.
Okay.
And I'm a little unclear. I tried to get a little lay of the land. There's a farm up there someone owns, and I think she's one of the organizers of this thing. And I don't know if they're staying on Madeline Island or they're staying near it in Bayfield. But there's a couple, it's like a 3-day thing, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday kind of an idea. And it just sounds cool. There's a link in the show notes. It is the same weekend as our full moon bike ride redo. Which we just got another.
Oh, that's way the hell up there. I see.
Oh, yeah. It's right up there at the Lake Superior.
Apostle Island.
On the old Bayfield Peninsula. Yeah, there's Mayfield. My
geography sucks without the super hints here.
Yeah, no, it's good. Here, check this out. I don't know if our viewer can see this, but I'm going to put it right by that thing.
I don't know.
Full Spectrum Cycling get recognized as one of the best cycling podcasts. We're in the top 100.
Hey.
It says right here, there's millions. There's like 4 million podcasts or something. There's a shit ton of them. We got a little award, Best Cycling Podcast. I beg to differ. I think this is a pretty horrible show, but we keep doing it anyway.
Self-effacing it is,
The other thing I wanted to mention before we go, what is it? I don't think it's anything else. I just
full moon.
Oh yeah, because of the full moon beach ride redux. We got another rider today. We were over at Morphic, and Dan was sitting over there and said, "By cracky, I'd like to join you guys."
Ah, nice.
To which I replied, "Fucking A, bro."
Right. We don't even have. That's not this. That's next weekend.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, we don't have a weather report.
I was like looking. I was seeing how far my forecast.
Yeah, next week we'll have a thing. But you know what? Here's the deal.
But the vibe. If the vibe continues, which it should,
right?
It'll be in the 70s, 60s.
And if last full moon beach ride is any indication, if you don't show up, you can't reap the reward. The worst thing that can happen is we sit in a bar and have a few beers. Best thing that can happen is probably the best ride of the season so far for me, anyway. So if you try to,
and then you run away, guess what? Then you get stuck in traffic for 5 hours.
Yeah, I might still sleep in the old camper van. Camper van Beethoven is my guy's name. Oh, if only we could play that Julio playlist right now.
It's got to be on there. Yes. It is a public playlist. Julio and the 90s.
On Spotify?
On the old Spotify.
Julio and the 90s would be hearkening back to the early days of, was it Rock 102.1 then?
It was New Rock.
New Rock. Okay.
New Rock 102.1. He was the one who kind of taught me how to run the board and engage in the audience.
And you haven't
just be a shitter. Okay.
You haven't forgotten any of it to this point.
I mean, it was like, we would just do crap. I mean, without, no video. Right. So it was just the audio. You're painting a word picture for everybody. And I mean, we're just doing weird things like in the studio. Like, okay, we got a blender and we've got a couple of Scooby-Doo action figures and we're going to put them in the blender and just see who survives. And so I do, and Scooby, drop him in there, boom, and Scooby kicks out part of the blender, and it hits Julio on air, right in the face, and he's like totally. I mean, didn't swear.
And that's a skill that is honestly, I think that's a skill that's learned by hanging out with your grandparents too much.
Mm-hmm.
Just pretend you're talking to your grandparents and you really can't swear on the air.
Right. Or if you do, you just bulldoze through. Nobody paid attention to that. Hey, look at that blue car over there. And, I'm jingling these keys. I tell you. But yeah, what is it called again? I just want to make sure. All one word or no spaces. Julio, amperstamp, the 90s with an apostrophe. I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure it out. You can share it with me and we'll put it in the show notes. All right, everybody. Thanks to Dave Slabowski for calling in. Next week, I believe, if all things work out well for us, this is like a cable here doing something.
I'm telling you, I'm playing a little.
You know what? And you
Dutch.
Don't watch the video. You can't see how much jump roping that microphone just did.
Yeah, and you can see my cool, the back of my cool T-shirt.
I'm thinking Sam D is going to join us next week.
You can sugarcoat a turd, but it's still a turd.
Right on.
Yeah, that was the wisdom I had to deal with. But he gave us this T-shirt, and that's shitty wisdom.
There you go. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening this week, and we'll be here again, apparently.
Bye.